it's Gina. Welcome to the at-home edition of art class. I will be creating art with Mike. Again, he's always wanted to learn. We will be doing a horse in drawing and watercolors today, and you don't have to be an expert. I don't even know all of the different vocabulary words for the different parts of the horse. I'm sure some of you might even know a little bit more than I do, but that's okay. We'll just be breaking it up into shapes and really looking at the forms and the shapes, and that's how we will create our horse. So are you ready to draw and paint?
I think so.
Good.
This will be challenging.
You'll learn a few new techniques.
Okay, sounds good.
Good. All right, so we're going to start with the basic shapes of the horse's head. So if you look at my painting here, you can kind of already see there's a circle here and a circle here. And this circle is bigger than the circle here. So we're going to start with this front top circle of the head. It is a big circle. And again, this is just giving us a guide. We will erase this later. So this is what I start with, is a circle shape. And then we're going to draw a circle here for the nose part of the. So we have a bigger circle and a smaller circle. We are going to connect them. So we're going to go down from here. There's a little bit of the side, the other side of the eye here. We aren't going to do any details of that eye. It's the eye is looking at the other direction, but you have just a little bit of a sideways kind of V shape, just to make it look like there's the eyelid, like the lid portion of the eye. And then we're gonna come down and kind of wrap around, and only 3/4 of that circle is where you're gonna do a line for the mouth. Then you're gonna wrap around for the mouth and come up here, not all the way to the circle yet, but you're gonna make a straight kind of line, and then you can kind of make that circle shape. If you feel like you want your horse's head to be a little thicker, you can make your circle shape, because this was just a guide, so it doesn't have to, if you want, that's kind of like the jawline of the horse. So it makes him look really strong if we kind of give him a good jawline. So that's the kind of oval shape I'm looking for. Very cool. Then we're going to, first we're going to come around here and come off the page. That's where the mane of the hair is going to be. So it goes, starts at the top of the head and comes off the page. Then you're going to come here and have this come off the page for the neck. We are going to start to erase some of these lines, these circles, because we are going to draw the eye and the ears, and we don't need those lines anymore. We have a nice shape. We don't need it down here either. We have a nice shape for the mouth. I think the mouth actually kind of comes like at an angle. So it kind of comes at an angle and then a straight line to kind of give it a little bit more, so it doesn't look like it's smiling. And while we're down here at the nose, let's just put the little nostril of the nose. That's gonna be black. You can make it you can make it squirrely, or you can make it like a teardrop, or like a bean where it's like wider and then thinner at the top. Do you see how I have it a little thinner and then it gets wider? Yeah, that's a great shape. Cool. Yeah, I like that you're doing it on your own. So now we're gonna make an ear shape that comes up like a upside down V. You could also make it, if you're a younger artist, you could do an upside down V like this. If you're an older artist and you kind of want to make it a little bit more like rounded and then make it a little, you can do that. Either way will look good. And then we have to put the side of the ear. So it's just another line on this side. I think your ear's a little big.
Okay.
So,
Bring the
because you're
this
gonna have
side?
to have some of the mane in the front.
Uh-huh. Should I bring
So-
this front line over, you think?
Yeah, just that front line over. Yes, much better. Then we're gonna draw the mane, which we're painting it, so we just need to draw, I'm making it look a little rounded, and then like edge of the hair has little zigzag lines
Okay.
for those. And then erase that line on the inside of the head. Then we're gonna see the other ear. It's not gonna be as tall, but it's not gonna be super small either. It's just gonna be a little bit smaller. Like if it's this tall, make it this tall. And then you'll see the side of it as well. Does that make sense? Because it's on the other side.
Nice.
So you'll show depth by making it look a little smaller than the one that's closest to us. So the one, since it's further away from us, it's just gonna be a little smaller. Very good. Your horse looks excellent. So proud of you. Very good. All right, so if you are a younger artist, I'm gonna show two different ways to draw an eye. We're gonna be putting the eye like right here in our horse. If you are a younger artist, you could draw the eye like a sideways V shape, like this. And then you could draw the eyeball that's kind of rounded. And you could draw, well, that's just like a sideways round shape. And then you could draw the other side of that pupil. Actually, I might make it just a little bit bigger. And then, of course, the sparkly. And then you can draw some eyelashes to keep those horse flies out of their eyes. And then you can fill this in. You would just fill in everything but the sparkly. So if you wanted to draw your eye like that, so basically I started with a sideways V. I curved a line to connect the top line to the bottom. I did another curved line or two and some eyelashes and a little white sparkly. If you are an older artist, you can draw the upper eyelid like this. Kind of like, do you want to do that? And kind of make it more at an angle a little bit.
I think I'll do that.
Yeah, yours isn't quite at an angle. Great. Then you can draw, we're gonna do it a little differently this time. You can draw kind of like almost the whole circle of the eye. So we started with the upper eyelid, and then I'm drawing the whole circle of the eye this time. Just a little different than sometimes how we draw other animals' eyes. And then you're gonna draw the lid underneath that. And you're gonna draw eyelashes as well. Horses have long eyelashes because they have flies constantly that are bothering them. You can make them curly and kind of cute. Make her look pretty. We're gonna do a little white sparkly circle and the black pupil. You're also going to draw the upper and kind of some lines for the bottom on the face of the eyelid. Nice. So now we're going to do the back of the mane. So I'll do the top part first, and it's kind of like a wave. We're just kind of making it look really like she's got a pretty, pretty mane. So it almost looks like waves going up. And then we'll erase this line. Okay, so now we're gonna do this side of the mane, which is just, you can make really long curly lines, like long hair, or you can just do this side, like rough edges, yeah. But it's gonna follow, it's not gonna follow down the cheekbone, it's gonna follow down the neck. Yes. So we're gonna start with a circle that is, if you take a line going up, it's just right, it's not underneath the ear, it's to the right of the ear. Then we're gonna draw the line coming down, 2 lines coming down like a rectangle shape, meeting that circle. We're gonna curve this line up here because it's gonna look like it's going over to the other side. So it needs to be curved. And we're gonna draw a second circle in this. Nice. And down here, we're gonna draw a circle. And a line coming across that's kind of curved a little and coming across again, a rectangle shape. And another line coming down. And I think there can also be another circle down here. And we can fill those circles in. Now we're going to do a sweeping line up to that upper circle, and it's going to have another parallel line that goes up. And a line that comes down and wraps around that jawline. It does not go past the jawline. Very nice. So we're done with the drawing. So what I want you to do is take a Sharpie, and I want you to trace the eyes. So you're going to trace the eyelid. You're gonna trace that white little sparkly. You're gonna trace the pupil and fill that in with black, but not the entire, just the smaller circle, not this outer circle. That outer circle is gonna be brown, but the center circle will be black. Yes, and you can trace these lines, and you can trace the eyelashes. And a little bit of the marks. Then we're gonna trace these metal circle pieces on the bridle. So trace all 3 circles. And trace the bridle lines. And you can trace this nose part. Right here on the nose. I'm going to erase this inside my ear. Somehow that line didn't get erased.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah, we don't want that line there. And the last little detail I forgot is that if we want to leave a white piece coming down,
That's with your pencil?
that's with your pencil. Just leave a little white, like a line coming down, so that that whole piece will be white. If you'd like, you could paint the whole horse brown too. All right, so now you need water and you need 3 different sizes of brushes. You need a larger brush, actually more like this size brush, a medium-sized brush, and a smaller brush. We're gonna start with the larger brush. So let's start with a large brush.
Okay.
We're gonna be mixing 3 different values of brown. So we need to make a light brown, a medium brown, and a dark brown. So the way we're going to do that is you're going to start with whatever brown you have. So in my paint palette in the studio, I have this brown, but if you have the praying palette, you would have this brown. To make it a lighter brown, there's 2 ways you can make brown lighter. Yes, you can mix a yellow with it. So you would mix this yellow, the earthy yellow, in your palette.
Do I want to keep my first brown the darkest, or you want to lighten it up? even
We're
more?
making it lighter, yeah.
Okay.
So we're making the light brown first. So you're going to add yellow. You could even add a little red, because sometimes horses have a little reddish tone to them. That makes it a pretty brown. And then another way to make it lighter is by dipping your brush in the water container like this, and taking a whole thing of brush of water. And you can do that 2 or 3 times, and it will make sure that it's really nice and light. The more water with the paint, the lighter it will be. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the medium value.
Okay.
So the medium value is just gonna be the brown by itself. You could mix a little red if you wanna kind of warm up the brown a little, because the horse color could have a little red in it. Some horses have a lot of red, so you can kind of decide how red you want your horse to be. And then just add 1 brush stroke of water so that it goes on nicely, blends nicely, but we don't want it to be too light. Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty. Then the darker brown is going to be that brown again, but mix it with some of the blue. So if you're using the Crayola colors, you could mix the brown with black, or you could mix it with blue or purple, and it will get it darker, and then also a little red, so it still matches the same. So you're gonna have light, medium, dark. And the dark, we're not gonna mix any water with it. So it's gonna be a strong color, thick paint. Yes, very good. All right, now we're gonna clean our brush, and we're gonna dry our brush, because this is like a nice color. Actually, I forgot, we're gonna start with water.
Oh,
So, like we've done before, we're gonna lay down water first and then paint on top. The light part of the neck of the horse is in the center. It's not on the right or left side. So we're going to lay down water, just plain water down the center.
okay, so mine's got a little color in it.
Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna be painting on top of it. Then you're gonna take the light color and you're gonna paint on top. Now laying down the water is just going to make sure that it stays nice and light. So we're doing the light color only down the center. So now you're gonna do the medium color and you're gonna go next to that light. And you're gonna go, so you're gonna paint to the left of the light and also to the right. And you're going to try and paint around your mane. So it's okay if you go into it. We're gonna paint it a darker color, so it'll be all right, but just try and avoid it if you can. Now we're gonna clean our brush and add water up here next to the eye, just to the center of the head. So we're adding water right in this center area of the horse's head. That's gonna be light. And then we're gonna take the light color and we're gonna paint the light color over the water. Yeah, very nice. And then we're gonna take the medium color and we're gonna paint next to it. But only up to that line because that's gonna be white. If you need to make more color, don't hesitate. The medium color is just the brown with a little bit of water, and I mixed a little bit of red and a little bit of water. Not a lot. I paint around the eye, up to the ear. And I need to paint on this side of the mane, just up to, or on this side of the bridle, up to the mane. Looking good. So now we're gonna add just a little bit of water right on the top by the nose, not on the mouth. The mouth portion down here is gonna be a little darker. So right above where the mouth is. And you're gonna paint the lighter color on top of that water again. And you're gonna go to the medium color, which I run out, so I'm gonna mix just a little. And you're gonna paint the medium color right up against it. And the medium color down below. Very cool. We're gonna paint the lighter color. We're not gonna lay down any water though. We're just gonna paint the lighter color on the inside of the ear. If it dried a little, just try to blend it just a little bit. I try to blend it by just sort of kind of gently brushing over top of that line so that you don't have a line. There we go. And a lighter color for the inside of this ear. Now we are going to, while we're waiting for that to dry, I don't want to paint the mane right now because it will just bleed right into the horse. And then we wouldn't know where the hair started and where the body was, and that would just be a big mess. So we're gonna work on the background.
Okay.
You can paint the background blue, you can paint it purple, you can paint it blue and purple. You can paint it whatever colors you want. I have this blue, and I put some in your bottom of your palette. It's called cobalt blue. You can, it's wet, so just put like one brush stroke. Yeah. Yep. Keep mixing until it looks like this. It should look like this. And then you can mix just a little bit of water, like one brush stroke or two brush strokes of water so that it's not super dark. And if you have the praying palette, you can pick whatever blue. Some of you might have more than just the 8 colors, but this blue is a brighter blue, but it's really pretty. So you could just use that blue. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start in the left-hand corner, and you're going to paint across across. And then paint from scrolling back to the left-hand corner and painting again across, and just keep doing that. The color can kind of change. That will make it look very real and pretty. Doesn't need to be the same color. And you're gonna go around your ears and around your horse.
Kind of got my color in my a little bit. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm. If you need to turn your paper sideways or upside down, I paint upside down sometimes. Sometimes I paint sideways.
Now when this dries, will it dry a little lighter than what I see, or is that
Yes.
pretty much close to
Watercolors do dry lighter than they look when they're wet.
It's okay if I get a little bleed out there?
Yeah, that's
Looks like my horse is sneezing.
It does. Yeah, ideally you want to make sure your horse is dry. So if you have a hair dryer at home, you could always blow dry your horse and then do the background. So we're going to use that medium to darker brown. You can use medium or dark.
And what size brush are we using now?
And now I've gone to my medium-sized brush.
Oh,
We're going to be doing the sides of the ears.
okay.
So you're going to do
The medium
medium brown. You could mix it a little bit with the dark too. It could be a medium to dark, and your medium-sized brush, and you're going to paint that side of the ear is going to be darker than the inside of the ear. Did you just paint this?
No, I don't know what happened there. It was a mixture.
Interesting. That's
Is that the way I can
still
fix
wet.
it?
Yeah, for some reason it's still wet. So I would just lift off a little bit of that water.
It pooled.
Or excess, it pooled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was totally not even my fault.
Probably not. We'll have to repaint a little bit over that.
I can do that.
Yeah.
It's okay to make mistakes, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, you have a black down here. You could do dark brown, you could do black. If you want to do a dark brown, you could mix the brown with the black. Let me see what color that would look like. That would be like this kind of a color, where it still looked like a dark, like a blackish color, but just has a little bit of brown to it. Or you could just do straight black, and we're gonna paint from that bridle all the way, and you're gonna paint inside your pencil lines for your hair, your mane. You can have loose hairs like this, or you could do jagged hairs like I did, like more patterned. You can do however you would like. If you do more loose hairs, just go like this down your mane, or you fill in inside your pencil lines. Both ways will look good. And we're going to also fill it in on this side of the ear and the mane. And I'm going to turn mine a little sideways, and you're going to fill it in the front here. Cool. Yeah, we're going to draw some lines for hair.
Great.
Yeah, you can do them now, but we're gonna wait for them to dry a little bit. So now we're gonna take the brown, the dark brown.
Are we still with the medium brush?
Oh, I forgot. I thought it in my head, and then I forgot to say it. Small brush. Thank you.
I'm
for
noticing.
reminding
I am
me.
noticing.
I'm so glad you're really
Keeping
paying
you
attention.
honest.
Small brush,
Okay.
and we're just grabbing the brown. But lots of paint, very little
So a
water.
separate brown color?
Just the brown by itself. And we're coloring in the eye, but not the white sparkly. You're going around and you want to only color in your round eyeball because you have to leave the white section on both sides of the eye. So this is just the eyeball. Then we're going to make like a light gray. So just add a tiny bit of water to the black for a light gray, and you're gonna paint the light gray on the bottom, right next to that line, and the top eyelid. So we're basically painting around the eye. Very nice. Okay, now we're gonna take a little bit more of that black mixed with water. So if you need to move it into another part of your mixing tray, so that, like a little section in your mixing tray, and add water. So you get a light gray, and the bridle is gonna be a light gray. We're just gonna paint the whole bridle. So now you're gonna take the black, and you're gonna fill in that nostril with the black. And you are gonna take the black, and we're gonna create some hairs. So you're just gonna go over in the same direction, like you're coming down and swooping up, or you can do little twirls. Some of the lines could be longer, some shorter. You're just adding a little darker value on top of the color that we filled in, and just making some hairlines like that. If you can see. Oh, I love your curly hair. Very cool. And then you're gonna do lines here. We're also gonna fill in the rings with a little bit of the darker black. It can be kind of like a little bit of water, just so that you can paint, but just the circles. Very nice. Now we're gonna take that darker brown color, so the brown mixed with the blue that made that darker brown, and we're gonna take our little brush, and we're gonna make the inside of the ear, and you can do some little hairs if you want. You're gonna do the inside of the ear over here with some hairs. You can do right along the line of the ear, right along this line. We're just adding a little depth with this darker brown. We're also going to, along this jawline, add a little bit of a shadow with that darker brown. Keep running out of paint. So I'm gonna mix the blue and the brown together. You're going to paint right along that pencil line that's the jawline, and paint down the neck. So not on the face, just down the neck. And then if you want it to be softer, just get your brush wet and soften right on that edge, so it sort of blends. The jawline. We're also gonna do a little bit of the dark underneath the mouth here. And you can do little dots down by the mouth, or you can make it all kind of dark and do little dots. Very nice. Now you can grab the pen and sign your name. Good job! Your first watercolor. So proud of you. That looks excellent.
Working at it.
It's like a horse. Very cool. Hopefully all of you are just as successful. And please send me pictures. I'd love to see what your horses look like. Thanks for painting with me. Hello artists, it's Gina. Welcome to the at-home edition of art class. I will be drawing and painting with Mike today. I don't have a lot of options of people to choose from in our at-home edition, right? So we're just doing Mike.
So I'm just, what? I'm chopped liver? Let's try that again.
Take two. Hello artists, welcome to art